Do, do. Happy Monday. Hang on, I forgot a marker. Oh, there we go. Happy Monday. So as promised, I'll keep doing these Facebook Live videos as long as you guys have questions, and I'm just making it to your questions. So whatever you guys want, just let me know. Hang on, I don't think that camera's right. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just keep making these Facebook videos as long as you guys want them, and yeah. But so shout out to Mike Quinn. He's a member here, and he asked me today's topic and wanted to go over everything. So there you go. I'm going to go over everything for you. And so the Groupon is in the link to the description to the video. My name is Mitchell, and I own Strong Side. If you want to come get hashtag trained by Strong Side, just shoot me a message or grab the Groupon or share it with your friends or whatever. So here's the deal. I get asked a lot, and first off, I've never done a talk about this specific subject before, so I'm really just going to kind of talk, and we're going to figure it out along the way, and I got some talking points, and we'll just get rolling with it. I'm pretty casual. So Mike was in a workout, and this is how this conversation got caught up. We were doing a workout last week, a very aggressive workout, and you had to do some stuff on the assault bikes and stuff, which everybody loves, right? And then you had to rest a little bit. And after you rested for like 3 minutes or something, it was like you had to do like 40 burpees, 40 deadlifts, 30 burpees, 30 deadlifts. And he's exhausted at the end of it. And he didn't ask it in a condescending way at all. But he comes up and he's like, so we did 70 deadlifts. So what is 70 deadlifts going to get me? Like, why do I need to do 70 deadlifts in a workout? And he loves it. Clearly, I know you love it, Mike. But he loves it, clearly, because he comes every day. He's been a member a while. He's very into it. So, again, he's not, like, questioning it, like, thinking it's dumb, but really trying to understand. And I strongly encourage that. I want people to have questions. Maybe not questioning the program, but have questions on the program. Because if you're not understanding what you're doing, I don't like my athletes just coming in and getting hot and sweaty every day and then leaving. I want them to understand the objective. I want them to understand their training and understand where they need to push and where they need to slow down and set themselves up for success. So I think it's very critical when somebody asks, okay, why am I squatting? Why am I doing a drop set of squatting? Why am I going to 90% for 2 and then dropping 80% for 3 sets of 3? Like, what's the objective of that? So he's like, why should I do 70 deadlifts as I'm freaking exhausted and laying on the floor? So we start talking about it. He's like, just think about that maybe next Facebook Live. And I was like, coming at you Monday. Here you go. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you a little bit of a history lesson. We're going to talk about exercise. Cough's going away. Exercise, where it came from, and kind of make sure we understand the whole backstory rather than just do 70 deadlifts because I said so. So here's the deal. A lot of people have pretty much 3 goals, or at least they used to. So we're going to talk about the evolution of fitness. And most people currently enter a gym with one of these 3 goals, and it's originally where these goals came from. So a lot of people come in and say, I want to get jacked. Maybe not to here, but they come into a gym, they're like, I want to get jacked, I want to get swole, I want to get my biceps on, whatever. And then a lot of people just want to get strong. They say, okay, I don't care what I weigh. I'll weigh 500 pounds and deadlift 500 pounds. Well, that's not cool. But, they just want to get really strong. Then a lot of people say, I just want to get toned. I just want to tone up my muscles. Okay, so those are the 3 biggest goals. And that's kind of how it's evolved. So to give you a brief history lesson, we didn't really start working out until the early 1800s. And the reason that we started doing that was because manual labor started going away. We started innovating more and more things that allowed work to get done by either animals or machines where we didn't have to do the work anymore. So we had to start supplementing the real work with exercise. We had to start inventing exercises. There used to be like those circus freaks that would, put a big old dumbbell or kettlebell over their head or whatever, and then just, I'm the best at doing a windmill or whatever, and that's fine, but that's where it kind of started from. And then we had to start supplementing these exercises, and we had to start setting goals. And the 3 goals really just became, I want to get really jacked, I want to get really strong, or I want to tone up. And without knowing it, most of these goals got set off of the only 3 things that you can do to a muscle. And most of these goals started getting set before anybody ever knew what you could do to a muscle. The only three things that you can do to a muscle are: one, you can make it larger. That's called hypertrophy. You can dilate the muscles and make them larger. Two, you can give it strength, so you can make your muscles stronger. And then number three is you can give it more endurance. And we could talk about muscle fiber types, like type 1 muscle fibers, type 2A, type 2B, and stuff, but not really going to do that. You can take anybody's muscle fiber and at some degree enhance its ability to do one of the three. For example, type 1 muscle fibers go a little bit more the endurance route, like their body's naturally better at running. You can still make them a little bit larger. They might not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you can make them larger. So anybody can do those three things to a muscle. And so what happened is a lot of people came into the gym, they wanted to start working out. They said, I want to get bigger, I want to get stronger, or I want to get toned. And they picked one. And then they realized that you can only do three things to a muscle. You can only make it stronger, you can only make it bigger, or you can only give it endurance. There's only three things. So along the way, the exercise industry started realizing that things like toning become extremely difficult because you can't tone a muscle. How you tone a muscle is you have to make it larger. If you want to see your triceps more, you have to make them bigger. You can't expect to see something that isn't there. You're going to have to dilate it and make it larger. And first off, for any lady that's watching this video, okay, I wish truly that I could be as big as you think you're going to get when you lift. Most women that think if they pick up a barbell think that they are going to explode. And every dude is in the gym trying as hard as they can with 7 times more testosterone than a female to get as big as women think they're going to get. You're not going to get big. And if you did, you would have to try so hard. I mean, you'd have to lift multiple times a day, 2 grams of protein per 1 pound of body weight. It's nuts on what you have to do to get big. But so they started realizing this, and then they started realizing that toning was pretty much make a muscle larger and then go through an endurance phase or cycle to cut it up, eliminate the fat between the muscle and the skin to give it definition. That's how you tone the muscle. And then it started evolving a little bit more. We started making very, very good systematic programs to size, strength, and endurance. Those three things are kind of done. Like, you could go on Google right now or bodybuilding.com and find a 12-week chest and back program. You can go anywhere. You can find the Couch to 5K running program, a marathon training program. You can just Google that stuff. You don't even really need a coach for that stuff. Strength, go buy Jim Wendler's 531 program right now. You can do stuff like this. These are very, very simple things to do to a muscle. Make it larger, make it stronger, and give it endurance. Those programs are already set. Bodybuilding, endurance-based programming, we have that stuff down to a T. Like we're still learning stuff about the body, but if we want a desired outcome of size or desired outcome of endurance or strength, there's plenty of programs that allow you to do that one thing. You'll be very, very good at doing that one thing, and they're all pretty much the same. Endurance program, up 2 weeks, down 1, up 2 weeks, down 1, and ladder up 16 to 24 weeks out from your race. Go up half mile to 1 mile a week for 2, drop down 2 miles for 1, so on and so forth. I mean, it's easy stuff. But it only makes you good at those one things. What started happening around like the 90s and early 2000s, and especially now, is a lot of people started saying weakness. They realized that they were good at this one thing, but they started giving themselves labels. They started saying, I'm a runner, I'm a lifter, I'm a weightlifter, I do whatever. And they weren't an Olympian. Like, if you're an Olympian, you're competing on a global scale because you're a weightlifter. That's a totally separate thing. I'm talking GPP, general physical preparedness, or just general fitness in general. People started noticing they were weak. They'd be like, oh my goodness, you can deadlift 500 pounds, but you can't do a single handstand push-up. Oh wow, that dude can walk on his hands. That's really cool, but he can't squat anything without looking like mashed potatoes. How come you can run 6 miles without stopping, but when I ask you to do 5 deadlifts and then run, it's like you've never run in your life before? So they started seeing a lot of weakness, and weakness is things that you can't do. And then what happened is there started being this big evolution of people really steering away from common exercise. So pre all this stuff is when all the machines blew up. All the gyms started developing machines, Life Fitness, not Lifetime, Life Fitness, and all these other companies started coming out with machines. And they started doing segmented and isolated training. They said, you want to reach one of these goals, the first step of weakness is just to do these harder. Just do them more. We'll invent some new machine that allows you to do whatever you want to do to allow you to gain strength, size, or endurance in that muscle group. And if you can work that muscle group, then you can perform really well. And that was kind of the idea. So machines started blowing up. And without even talking about this any further, if you're a member at a Globo gym, you've probably seen that your machines are starting to go away more and more. All right? Hang on one second. In the middle of the day, we have classes. I'm just doing a Facebook Live video right now. So you can come in. There you go.
Do you have any information?
Yeah. Hang on one second. No, that's cool. They're a pretty cool crowd. Here's one of my cards. I'm probably gonna talk for like 5 or 6 more minutes. If you want to hang out and I can talk to you,
okay.
or you can.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie. How you doing? Sorry, Debbie just walked in and we were talking. So, all right. So here's the deal. So all that started happening with the machines, like in gyms and stuff like that, and the machines are starting to go away more and more, and you'll start realizing that trainers in general started saying, okay, well, my clients aren't getting the best benefit off of a seated leg extension or something like that. So they started moving more and more off the machines per se, and they started getting utilized less and less, and they started adapting to real fitness. So then this conversation started becoming about fitness. And a lot of people would say, I'm trying to do this group fitness class. I'm trying to do this fitness class. I'm trying to get more fit. But the problem with that is that when you say that, if I say I want to get fit and I have a room full of people and I have a yoga instructor, a Pilates instructor, a weightlifter, a CrossFitter, and a gymnast all in the same room, and I say I want to get fit, well, we're all shaking our head going, yeah, I want to get fit. But fitness doesn't have any definition. So I'm saying nothing and you're not hearing anything because there's no linear definition to that. So as people started looking at this principle called the FIT principle, which is frequency, intensity, type, and time. So it's what you start doing while you're exercising and how you measure that throughout your training. So that's what most programs are built on. You can do it through the FIT principle or the SAID principle, which is specific adaptation to imposed demand. And you start building training programs off that. But this is really started going to. So then all these people started saying, I want to get really, really fit. And I promise, Mike, this is going to answer your question. So they started saying, I want to get really fit. Now, we get a lot of information from a lot of people. I'm very big on, now we're going to start talking about strong side. I'm very big on not listening to just one person's frame of mind and being monopolized in that. So we get a lot from Greg Everett at Catalyst Athletics. We get a lot from Dave Splitz at the Barbell Wad. I very much look up to CrossFit. I think they've done a lot for the community. There's just so much that we get our information from. We talked a lot about like the 10 general fitness skills. They come from the guys who developed Dynamax wall balls and stuff. So there's a lot that we pull together to learn from the best minds. And one thing that CrossFit did that I thought was really intelligent was they came out with a way to measure fitness. So what we do is when you work out, for example, you can take whatever you do in fitness and you can say force multiplied by distance over time equals power. So if I said, okay, I'm going to use 135 pounds and I'm going to do clean and jerks, I'm going to do 30 of them, so I'm going to do Grace. How long did that take me? And that equates to my power output. And then the power output can be measured multiple different ways. How far can you run? How far can you jump? How much can you lift? Was it a broad range of motion, short range of motion? Can you do pull-ups? Can you do muscle-ups? And I can measure that desired outcome. And then what I can do is I can start collecting a lot of load or something like that. I can have you do, and I'm sorry, this red thing here is X and Y axis of energy and time. So how hard I'm working and for how long I'm working. So the purple here could have been, I'm going to work really hard for a short period of time. This blue line could be, I'm not going to work very hard for a long period of time. That could be like a long run. I could do like a medium-based exercise where it's a short amount of time. And really what I'm doing is I'm looking for this intersection here. And this intersection with the smallest amount of data points would equate to the greatest amount of fitness. So if he or she can do more work faster, so if I can do 135 pound clean and jerks, 30 reps in 2 minutes versus somebody's 3, along with running a 5-minute mile and squatting 500 pounds and doing 50 pull-ups unbroken, would allow me to measure in different modalities of greater fitness levels. So I thought that was very key to be able to measure performance, because Mike was saying, okay, why should I do 70 deadlifts? The goal really isn't to say, can he or she do 70 deadlifts? It's, can you do 70 deadlifts in a workout at 75% of your max? Can you also put up a 1-rep max, you just using a deadlift as an example, that is comparable to the top 5 in the gym? And then can you back that up with being able to do multiple pull-ups, handstand push-ups, and run a 6:30 mile? So we're not only saying, can you be good at one thing, but can you be good at everything? Now, what we do to improve that, we take a much more systematic approach than most. So if you've ever heard of James Fitzgerald or OPT or OPEX Fitness, he won the games in 2007. It's a long story with there. You can look up GORK, the organization GORK. But him and Rob Wolf and stuff, they originally started coming out with a program that wanted you to be better at these conditioning segments using periodized training. So to give you an idea, like I'll just point to what we did today. So for example, like this is just today's training. This is week 1 of 5 in their microcycle. This microcycle is going to take us all the way up to the open, starting in 31 days. But for example, we're trying to take those data points and make you better at those data points. We're trying to acquire a blend of fitness, and we're trying to say, what tasks can we do to make you better? Not just WOD after WOD after WOD, but what tasks can we do to elevate your performance there? So for example, you would do a back squat. They're going to work up to 90% today, 1 set of 2, 90% of their maximal load. We retested about 7 weeks ago, so they know what their maximal load is. Or I'm sorry, 8 weeks ago. Since their testing, they started doing heavy sets of 8 the first 4 weeks. The last 4 weeks of that microcycle, we decreased each week in a max set for their part 1 of part A. So we hit a 10-rep max, 8-rep max, a 5-rep max, or a 3-rep max. Now, when they hit this 90% for 2 today, they're destroying it. It's been epic all day. I've been really excited. Mike killed it. But so then you're going to drop to 80% for 3 sets of 3. The goal here is to stimulate their muscle growth in their legs here, to fatigue it, and then carry work capacity in there. When they move to the deadlift, the past couple weeks, they've done a lot of pause work under the knee. They've done a lot of isolation work with their midline to allow them to strengthen the position in the deadlift. Because in order to improve those data points, we're going to have to do a lot of training. This is a training compound that we're trying to elevate those data points and make you better. So the deadlift of today is 6 sets of 3 at 80%, but the past couple weeks, what they've been doing is accessory and pause work and Zerks work and all kinds of other training to improve the performance in the deadlift for today. This strength session is the skills and drills session. We are trying to elevate skills and drills to elevate performance in the WOD or the workout of the day. So when we go back to these points here, these data points, and we say, all right, you need to have that blend of capacity where you're putting up those heavy numbers, you're elevating those gymnastic skills, and you're going really fast. We're going to measure that in this performance. Each WOD that we do is going to be centered around one of those metabolic pathways that we're trying to improve. It's going to have a different objective. Our athletes today are going to get a 10-minute briefing of this workout. We're going to set up for an objective. Just about we do every day. Our briefing is about 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that we're understanding the concept and how to attack the workout. This particular workout is focusing on capacity in that wall ball movement, and then we're trying to advance their pull-up skills throughout the workout. This is just how we express it. Like, it's cool to do in the gym. We talk about that a lot. Like, these 4 walls in the gym, you acquire all this fitness. But in your daily life, it's not that you're doing muscle-ups. It's that you're trying to prevent against that weakness. You're trying to say, okay, I'm going to work in the gym and be able to do muscle-ups, so on and so forth. So the real-life application becomes a lot easier. And the fitness that you acquire in here allows you to go do whatever you want outside of there. So that, even though we're doing wall balls, the goal isn't wall balls per se, unless you're training to compete. But the goal is that when you garden, when you go hike Kennesaw Mountain, when you go walk around the mall, when you go do these daily tasks, none of them are difficult. And we're trying to use other methodologies to do that. So rather than just measuring ourselves off, like we talked about in the beginning, saying I just want to get large, I'm going to do 6 sets of 3 in a deadlift or 6 sets of 3 in a squat to try to build volume, but you can't hike up a mountain. But then if you did it the other way and all you did was hike up a mountain, you'd never be able to lift. So in that particular workout, like, the goal is I want to see somebody that can do this workout in under 10 minutes, smash it, but I also want to see them flip upside down and do 30 handstand push-ups. I also want to see them deadlift double body weight. I want to see other avenues in their fitness. So it's not just about that one workout with 70 deadlifts. That's a benchmark. That's a measurement, just a very small snapshot of their fitness. And I want to see multiple snapshots over time. And we use our training modalities and our mesocycles and our microcycles of training to be able to do that. So it's way more than just WOD here, deadlift that, do whatever. It's about building a training compound and a cycle and systematic training process that allows us to perform better at those data points using collective knowledge that we've gathered throughout the field. So we can talk more about that in class as well, but I want to put that video up there for Mike. You got any questions, let me know. The Groupon is in the link, and keep rolling with it, because that's how we make these Facebook Live videos, based on what you want. All right, thank you.